much for joining me. I'm going to use Madame Glam today, and I'm doing a collab for the Nutty Nail Co. And all the girls got together. Thank you, Jo, for organising it. And we're doing Instagram and YouTube, and it is designers. And they're all different, they're fab, so don't forget to have a look. Be a playlist in the description box for you to have a look at, or pinned in the comments. I'm not sure which, but there's loads for you to pop over and see, so give them some support. I've put some full cover tips onto my Eve, and I'm putting these on with the builder gel. I like using the Madame Glam builder gel. Now, for the purposes of this, what I've done is, if that's the natural nail bed, I've taken off the shiny surface. I've done the same on the underside of the tip. I would then go ahead with my primer and my base coat, and then I'd use the builder gel. But for the purposes of this, I'm just going to use the builder gel and show you that bit. So you don't need an awful lot. And you just scrape it off your brush. A little bubble in that. Go. Now, only do this. Only use light curing products to stick your full cover tips on if they are clear. Do not use a light curing product to stick them on if they are ready painted, very opaque, and the light won't get through them, because you'll just end up with uncured product on your nails, which nobody wants. So if they're clear, this is absolutely fine. So my biggest problem is holding it when I'm doing it on Eve. But I'm just going to hold it down, do it until it's got to the tip of the natural nail, and then use my little lamp. I'll hold that there for, I don't know, 15 seconds or something, just while I have a chat with you, and then I'll put them in the full lamp and cure them. Now, unlike using a solid extension gel, which if you do this and you go too far beyond your natural nail, you can end up with quite a big wad underneath it. But I'll show you with this that you get very little. It's very thin. It's very thin, the excess. So all I would need to do would be to get my e-file and just straighten that out if I want to, but it's not too much of a problem. But there will be tacky surface on anything that sticks out under the nail, don't forget that. So give it a wipe with a brush with some alcohol in. Because it's exposed to the oxygen, it'll have a tacky layer. Right, so I've had to go to voiceover because you won't believe, to say there's only 2 of us leaving the house, how rowdy it can be. What I'm doing here is I'm going to put some lines down. I've taken the design from the designer dresses that Mary Quant did, and there's a lot of stripes and lines and a distinctive flower and stuff like this. And this was a dress I saw that was in gold and red and black stripes, but there's quite a C curve on these nail tips, and I didn't want to be painting down and kind of veer off to one side. So I thought, well, if I do a central line with the striping tape and the 2 outside lines, then I can, that's my guide, and I'm going to pull them off before I cure it, so they won't be perfectly straight because I've put them on top of the tacky layer. So when I peel them off, it's not going to be perfectly flat like it would be if I'd put the striping tape onto a buff surface or something. But it's a guide, so it's really great using striping tape as a guide for me, because I'm not very good at doing a straight line anyway. But when I don't know where I'm going, I'm even worse, if that makes sense. So as you can see, I'm painting, the gold is called Are We Lost, and it's from the new collection that came out for November. Lovely gold colour. And then this red, again, this is from the new November Sanctuary. It was Sunset in Florida. So that's the red one. I've got a discount code, and there is a bit.ly link which will take you to Madame Glam if you want to try their stuff. If you want to buy from there, if you go via the link, it will automatically take my 30% discount off for you at checkout. You just have to click that you want to pay as you go. Now the other alternative to that, if you don't know already, is you can join the VIPs, and you pay so much a month into a savings, I think it's about $30 roughly, into your savings, and spend that as and when you want on Madam Glam products. So you can spend it every month, or you can wait, save on shipping and build up ordering a few at the same time. So that's that. So before I cure it, because I don't want to cure those stripes within there, I'm going to take those off. Then I'll give it a quick cure before I come back and paint in the black. Now this is a pudding gel. I've not got one of the painting gels, and the pudding gel is like a solid colour, so I'm just working it a bit and getting some out onto my palette, and then I can paint down that guideline. Madam Glam have got a great range of brushes now, and I've not got any actually apart from the application brush. When I can afford it, I'm going to get the set of brushes because they look fab. So this is not the best liner brush you've ever seen, but it's doing the job. I think they were cheap off Amazon, to be honest, or Shein, can't remember. I do try and tell you where I've got things from, but my memory's like sin. I forget what I've bought from one week to the next. Right, so I've top coated that just so I don't get anything in that tacky layer. Now there was quite a lot of block colour dresses, and this is one I found, and I'm going to use the gold at the bottom. I'm just marking out the lines on where I want the squares to be. So I'm going to use gold, which is the Are We Lost, again at the bottom of the nail. I'm trying to remember if it was pivot. I think I used pivot on this one. Are We Lost, and then a turquoise up in the top corner. The dress that I sewed's got like a petrol blue, but I haven't got that, so I've used the turquoise, and it's a dynamic blue gel paint. So I'll put you a bit of music on while I finish this one, and I'll pop back when I do the next nail. I'm just using Smelly Cat and I'm giving these a 2 coats. So I'll just show you the start of putting it on for the colour, and quick as a flash I'll zoom into it being 2 full coats on each nail. They're both going to be different. So, right, this one is a dress that's got like a little sweetheart collar. Not sweetheart, can't remember what they call it. Little rounded collar on, and a low sort of hip belt. So I'm just marking out these lines in black, and this is block colour. So because there's just the sort of 4 different blocks, I've painted the whole of the background, and then I'll paint the black on top. There you go, just showing you that's my one and only Madam Glam brush. Now this first coat isn't covering as much as I thought it would, but the reason for that is that I didn't wipe off the sticky layer. Now if you're putting a different colour on top of your previous colour, I remember to do it at some points in it, but I forgot in this particular instance, but you're picking up that bit of sticky layer that's underneath, which is obviously in the opposing colour. So when you put your second coat on, it'll be a lot better, but if you're worried about that, particularly if you're painting a light colour on top of a dark, wipe off your tacky layer before you put your next colour on. So I'm using my finer detail brush just to get into the corners, and then to save a bit of time I've used the bigger brush. Right, so I've remembered this time, you see, because I'm going to paint on top of this with the white gel paint. So it would have gone a bit grey and murky if I had tried to paint the white on top of that black. What did they call this little collar that you used to have? I don't know. And intentionally decided to do, when they said about doing designer for this collab, I've got some decals and stickers that's got Chanel bottles and all sorts on. I was going to use that, and then I just wanted to get more practice in with my painting as well, because I don't paint designs an awful lot really. And I need to also get back into doing acrylics. I love them. I love using acrylic. But the thing is, the monomer smells so bad, doesn't it? When you're using gels, you don't get the same smells. So what are you doing at the minute? Are you doing gel or acrylic or whatever? Oh, and if you're not aware of it, I've got a big giveaway running at the minute. And it's running until the 14th. It's open, so check that out on the channel. If you've not already subscribed, please don't forget to check whether you've subscribed or not, if you're enjoying what you're watching. I did say I wanted to get to 1,000 subscribers to do the giveaway, but I've been building this giveaway for months, so I'm not going to stop now. And obviously I've got all you lovelies that have been really loyal. Some of you leave loads of comments and it's absolutely fab. I love it, having that interaction and that feedback. I like it when you lovelies tell me what you'd like to be seeing, or which bits you particularly enjoyed in the videos. Because when I film them, they're about, well, usually over an hour long, and I have to cut them down and then speed them up to twice speed and voiceover. Because you don't want to see me keep painting that same little bit over and over again, but I'm not sure which bits people skip. I'm sure not many people watch videos in the complete entirety, but as long as you can find the bits you want, that's great. But I've had a sneak preview on some of the designs that's coming up in this collab, and they're beautiful. There's some really gorgeous, classy ones. And pretty and cute and you name it. So this is the iconic Mary Quant flower with the 6 petals. And I'm doing it with my dotting tool, and I probably would have been better to try and paint the shape of it, but this is how I did it anyway. You find what way works best for you, don't you? And I decided, when I was looking for a little piece of metal to go as a buckle on that belt, I spotted some little rings, and I thought, well, sometimes these flowers came with a solid centre and sometimes they came with a ring around the centre. And I was saying to one of the girls in the collab that when I was doing this, it took my mind back to when I used to wear the clip-on earrings. So I would have started probably wearing clip-ons when I was about 11 or 12, which would have been 60, 61. And there were clips with like a big stud with the dangly Mary Quant flower on, and they were uncomfortable to wear, but when you took them off, by heck, they didn't half hurt. It was like you'd trapped your earlobe in a door. Oh, shocking. So I was quite pleased how these turned out. So there we are, that's the finished article. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe if you've not already done so. Like I said, playlist will be below somewhere. Thank you all for watching. Love you loads. Take care. Look after each other. Bye.